I was always a bit too energetic for any sort of subjects or classes that would involve me sitting down. So I think I took, a liking to drama quite early on, even music as well. But my parents luckily tapped into that and came across the Brit School when I was like 13, and I'd been suspended from the school at the time. And then I luckily got in. It was a long shot, but I was in. And then from that day forward, I decided I wanted to be an actor. My strand was theatre, and I got an agent as soon as I left, which was another kind of stroke of luck, really. There was a showcase, and it was the second year they brought agents along, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. I did a monologue that I knew well. She put me on trial, and in my second audition I got the bill, and that was that. I've been learning on the job since I was 18. It was nerve-wracking. There were things that were said, because I've never worked on anything before. It was my first job. So I remember sitting there and I knew my lines, I was ready, raring to go, and someone said, speed. I was like, what? Is someone ordering drugs on set or something? I don't know what that means, you know what I mean? So it was nerve-wracking, of course. But, I think it was all right. We learned at least. But it's a rites of passage for a lot of people. As soon as I left Brit School, got the bill, and I was lucky to get another few jobs. I played a crystal meth head, then an autistic kid. And then, so it was kind of varied quite early on, which was nice. And then, yeah, it was pretty much non-stop from there. I've had a couple of years of like lulls, but I've been lucky to kind of work my way up slowly, project by project, part by part. I suppose a notable point in my career would be my first lead, Borrowed Time. I acted alongside Phil Davis, and it was a micro-budget film for the microwave scheme. But so my first lead, I'd say the Inbetweeners movie changed a lot in terms of comedy. I started getting a lot of interest, I suppose, from then. Being nominated, Samuel 613, a short film I did, was nominated for a BAFTA. That was really cool, and I'm really proud of that project, playing a Hasidic Jew with mental health issues and struggling with his religion. It's kind of bonkers, and the whole process was great as well. And Our World War, I'd say, was another one. But luckily there's been a lot of different projects along the way, but I'd say there's maybe some milestones. Do I prefer comedy or drama? I think they've both got their own value. I think comedy's, obviously funner to do. There's a lot more laughter on set. Drama is rewarding in a different way. Like, it's a bit masochistic, you like enjoy the suffering and so forth, do you know what I mean? But I do really enjoy that too. So I can't pick one over the other. They're both very different processes. Preparing for roles, something like mental health, you have to do a lot of research first and foremost. You need to know, what that feels like, so you can ask people. Maybe you've experienced it yourself, and you can draw from your own experiences. A lot of acting is either imitation or, more interestingly, drawing from what you know. So I think they're always the more interesting choices when you draw from what you know. It's just original, isn't it? Preparing for the role of autism, I watched what's the film? The Rain Man. Rain Man. Yes. What keeps me doing short films is the format is interesting itself. One, you get to work with new, interesting directors and writers, and there's something about a short film that I still enjoy to watch. And if the part is good and the script's good enough, I'm happy to do it. I don't think nobody's too good for a short film. The quiet periods have been tough, to tell you the truth. Acting's all I can do, so I've ended up as an unskilled labourer or working on my mate's pie stall or helping coach boxing or something. So they're not easy, but you know, you find a way around it, and actually it makes you appreciate what you do more, I think. And you suppose you gain real experiences in those moments as well, you know. So it's a good time to live in reality, to then draw from that when it's important again, when you're working next time, you know. I think that's a good way of looking at it. Sliced is written by my hilarious mate Samson KO, who I've known for 8 years, and this has been in the pipeline for a good 3, Sliced, and it's finally been made, and it's on Dave. You can watch it on UK TV Play right now, and it's only a pilot series for now, so there's 3 episodes. They're all hilarious. We're hoping for a new series, but it's essentially about 2 pizza shop boys and their escapades and the weird people they meet along the way, and they're both really good mates. And one's kind of neurotic, I suppose, and worries a lot, and the other one is the opposite. He doesn't even think, but he thinks he knows everything. Do you know what I mean? But he's really chilled and a good mate. So it's kind of sweet and funny, and they get into some weird circumstances, like the 3rd episode in particular, which apparently is a real story, which makes me worry for Samson, to be honest. But but he's my dude, so I'll let him off. Yeah, it's mad. It's amazing, you know. Like, obviously, when it got made, there's loads of different levels. When it got made, I was obviously joyous. Then there was the reading, and then we're on set. It's still just as weird every day, you know. Probably more so for him, but it just made it easier, you know. Like, if there was something he wanted me to say or change the line, we already had that rapport, so we just bounced off each other, and added bits when we needed to, and also the chemistry's there, you know, already, which is a big part of, like, if it's like a comedy duo or something, you know what I mean? So the play I'm currently doing is called Europe, and it's by a Scottish playwright called David Grieg, and it was written in the 90s under Blair, and it was like, essentially it was about Yugoslavia at the time, and they were going through a weird breakup with ethnic cleansing and a breakup of Yugoslavia, and big issues with immigration and the far right and things like that. So there's a lot of parallels to what's going on today in Brexit, and I think that's Michael Longhurst's idea behind doing it again. And Michael Longhurst is the new creative director of the Donmar. It's his first play as creative director. And yeah, there's funny moments and dark moments. I play a character called Horse, who's kind of funny but an idiot and seduced by the far right. So it's hard trying to connect with that empathetically at the moment, but there's a lot there. It's well written, you know. So that starts on June 10th. So Farming is written by, directed by, and about the life of Adewale Akinyoye Agbaje, and he is he had a mad life. It's called Farming because he was farmed out, as which was a weird term, but essentially it meant kind of adopted by his parents, what to get them through education. It's a white working class family, I think actually from traveller stock, I suppose, and he ended up, basically, long story short, ended up staying there and becoming a black skinhead. He dealt with a lot of self-hatred, you know, crazy life. Ended up getting a law degree, and then becoming an extremely successful actor. So Damson had the small task of playing him, and he smashes it out of the park. You know, I've seen it, and he's amazing in it. And I've also known Damson for a bit as well. So yeah, it was really good to work with him, of course, and Kate Beckinsale and everyone else that's in it. That's amazing. And John Dalglish, I've got to give him a shout out. He's incredible as the leader of the Skins, Levi, and I play Scum, who's essentially Scum. Yeah, a skinhead role. Yeah, he's one of the skinheads, and he's the only mate, I think, that's still alive today out of all the skins that Ade knew. I think the main differences between theatre and performing on screen, I suppose theatre's more immediate, and forgot who said this, but like theatre's a bit like you have to keep the ball up, you know? It's like a game you're playing between people, you're keeping the ball up. Whereas a film or TV is like you're pushing a rock up a hill, you know, it's a slower process. I suppose calmer in a way, you know what you have to do to get there, but theatre's just, it's a bit more chaotic, you know, which is exciting, but you know, there's an element of fear attached, which is why it's a challenge, which is why it's exciting as well, you know what I mean? The thing is, I started like loving film. I used to watch my parents' VHSs, you know, like when I was 12 I was stealing Mean Streets, you know, and stuff like that, and putting, what the hell is this? Madness, you know, and the guy setting bins on fire, it's brilliant, love it. But yeah, so I've got a real love for film that will never go. But I suppose as a performer they're just different. I don't think you can say one's better than the other. One's probably more immediately thrilling, but the other one you can look back, you know, and watch and appreciate years gone, you know, as a piece of art. In terms of the trajectory of my career, I've been happy that it's been gradual, because I think I've had a lot to learn, and I think I'm still learning each job, you know. Even if it is under the lights and performing, it's good to not be afraid to get things wrong, you know. And I think that there's been a lot going on, you know. I moved agent a couple of years ago and it's been going very well and I'm really happy, but I've just got to keep my head in the game and stay interested, and hopefully I can do some interesting things, you know what I mean? At the time, it was very important for me to move agent, yeah. And there is a whole side of the industry, that side that people don't see, that can help, you know. I suppose you've got to be an artist, which is what most actors are, I'd say, and you've got to have a business head on you as well, especially these days, because there are things that go on that can mean you're out of the loop and you might not even be seen for certain roles. So it's a good idea to make sure that you're at least tapped into the business side, but don't let it define you, you know, because it can also seep into your artistic element as well, do you know what I mean? So I've got to keep them balanced, the artist and the businessman, I suppose.